Hello, all you hardcores. Welcome to part two. We're joined by Andy from Aberdeen. How you doing, Andy?
Not bad, Russ. Yourself? All good.
You all right, mate?
Not bad,
Right, we've spoke about the Saudi situation and whatnot. Bit of a mess, really, isn't it? Really, with all
Yeah.
these fights that are supposed to be on, they just don't seem to be coming on and that. What do you think to this situation at the moment with Jake Paul and Mike Tyson? What is all that about?
I don't want to see people that age fighting. I don't think they should be fighting. If he ends up with a brain injury, again, in a lot of people's eyes, he's a living legend in the world of heavyweight boxing. So if some YouTuber gives him a brain injury, how's all that going to look? The anti-boxing lobbyists will be out in force, won't they? It's just going to be another stain on the sport, won't it? We've got enough shit going on now with it anymore.
Yeah, it's a bit of a
And he's
mess.
fifth.
You what,
Was he
mate?
57 or 58? I mean,
Right,
Joe
Tyson,
Lewis,
59 in May.
58 in May, I think he is that.
Yeah.
When Joe Lewis was 38 against Rocky Marciano or whatever he was, and he was deemed as an old man, and that was deemed as being a sad spectacle. So
Yeah.
again, a guy 20 years older than that. Now it's like, I know he does look in good shape for his age, to be fair. I mean, we're only seeing short training clips, you know. I want to see him training for half an hour, non-stop.
It's getting on for 40 years since he turned pro, isn't it?
Hmm.
You know.
It is. It's not right. It's not. It's not right. On the other hand, a lot of people are saying they want to see him knock Jake Paul's head off, sort of thing. I don't know. It's a sad state of affairs if that's all they can do. Jake Paul would be better fighting KSI or somebody like that. It's similar age or whatever, or closer to his age.
Is Jake Paul even a professional boxer, Andy, or is he what is he?
A gimmick, isn't he? I think he's trying to call it. He's trying to be a professional boxer now. But if he's going to be a professional boxer, he needs to fight other professional boxers at a similar age to himself, isn't he? Instead of picking on old guys.
Yeah, Mike Tyson's an old man, isn't he?
Yeah.
Do you think the old big jam roly poly, pop bang and Mickey CEO, do you think all that's died a death now? All that.
I don't see that. I don't see any of that materialising at all. You know yourself the effort you put in to try and get Mickey Theo and Big John Fury and they go away. You're pulling your hair out for all that nonsense.
Well, I could have told them that because obviously I worked in industry and look, when I worked for Dennis, if there were any so much as whiff of somebody knocking anything back, you go look at the record and say, well, why would they knock that fight back for this money when they've not earned this money before and they've had easier fights and this is an easier fight than that? Why would they knock it back? You tend to work out if people don't want to fight. For example, Queensbury rung regarding Sonny Edwards against Tommy Frank. So I told Dennis, and he went, "Oh, we're going in a different direction." And I went, "What? A British title for Tommy Frank, and we're going in a different direction." Can you explain that to me again? Because I don't understand that, Big Ron. I've just told you, we're going in a different direction to them. That's my answer. That means, no, we're not putting Tommy Frank in with Sonny Edwards because he'll get flogged and it'll damage his confidence. Well, why don't you say that then? Instead of tiptoeing around it, trying to make out that you're protecting your guy. If your guy can't fight, tell me you can't fight. You know what I mean? Don't let me have to work it out for myself. And it's just the same for all these other ones. All these trainers and all these dads who've got kids out there that are fighting, who are getting offered fights for their lads. And they're knocking them back left, right, and centre because they want to pad these records out and they want to get to the big dough. There's no wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But don't piss up my leg in process and spin bullshit. There's kids. Have you seen some at record of some of these people that have got it in their head? They're going to Saudi. I'm not going to reel names off. There's people 14, 15 and 0, 16 and 0, 12 and 0. They all think they're going to Saudi and they're not. They're not even in mix. But the people around them are spinning bullshit and letting them think these fighters are in the mix. Do you know what? There's probably about 30 fighters in UK now that are being bullshitted by their handlers who actually are telling them, yeah, you're in mix for Saudi, and the names have not even been mentioned. I've heard it, and there's a few other people I know that think they're going, and I've said, do you think so-and-so will get to go to Saudi? And they're going, not a chance. I said, well, they think they are, and this is what we've got. And this is why we've got fucking stalemate in the game at the moment in the UK. Have you seen the state of it? Have you seen the circular for border control now? What's listed for the next 3 months? It's a fucking joke. It's an absolute joke. And nobody's mentioning it, are they? It's there in black and white. What's lined up for this country in boxing till June? It's a joke. I thought it were going to be, it's a knockout. Put it in with Prince Edward and Stuart Hall and all them lot. It's a royal knockout. Put it in. It's a joke. Starring
It's a
Robert
shambles.
Smith.
That's it. All these carrot danglers, what are they doing? This shambles, dangling carrots. These guys still. You'll maybe get to Saudi if you're a good boy.
Hey,
No.
I know people, right, that have boxed on Dennis shows, and they're being told by people in this area, you're going Saudi, you keep at it with that training. They're not, but they're just using it as an incentive to get the kids to go to the gym. Why would you even need an incentive like that to tell a boxer to go train? It's his job. It's his job to train. That's like telling a coal miner, it's your job to go down pit and produce coal. Well, of course he knows that because he's a coal miner. Andy, if your job's right, is a car mechanic, right, to service cars. That's your job, isn't it? You're not a baker, are you? You're not a club doorman, you're a mechanic.
If they don't want to do it, they should get another job. Get a job they like if they don't want to do it. If they don't like training, they're in the wrong job, aren't they?
Like Dave Allen, Dennis says, look, if you don't like it, the road's up there, go get a job as a fireman. Keep talking about it. Dave Allen, the fireman, go do it. You get a pension. Go and do it. Go and do it. Get out of bed in the morning and go be a fireman. If you're going to be a fireman, or if you're going to be a dosser, stay in bed till 12 and be a dosser. It's not rocket science. You are who you are, aren't you?
That's it. You make your own life full of choices, eh?
Yeah.
You make your own luck to a certain extent.
Of course you do. Do you think Carl Froch should fight at UFC?
How old's he now? 47?
47, isn't he, in a couple of weeks?
I hope not. I don't really want to see him fighting that. He's didn't want to tarnish his legacy in any way if he was to go in there and get beat. There's other boxers, good boxers, that's gone into the UFC and not done anything, have they? Saying that, he's in better shape than a lot of they were.
I've seen him on bag recently, Cobra, and I've seen him doing some training and that. I bet he could win an English title at cruiserweight now in this country. You know, we're one camp.
Yeah.
I think he could do an English title at cruiserweight now, and he's not a cruiser, and he could do it light heavy if he wanted to. It's just that he ain't got that battering ram nose no more, has he?
It looks like he's in good shape though. He keeps himself in shape. And when I met him at Knockhill, he looked fit. He looked like he looked after himself all right.
Andy, if you had a missus like his who were walking about as a 10 every day, you'd want to look well as well, wouldn't you?
That's it.
Hey?
When you want to go about looking at a slogan away.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
If he gets a derby on him, Rach might get rid of him. He'll keep him on
that's it.
his toes, won't it, Cobra? Otherwise, he'll be sat at home eating biscuits all day.
That's it.
Eubank, Crawford. What do you think? Is it just knackers? Is this where we're at now in boxing, where we're saying that fights like Benn and Pac-Man's going to happen, and there's 18-year difference in age, and Ben's not won a belt, and Pac-Man's an 8-weight champion, and then we've got Eubank against probably pound for pound fighter in the world. They're going to fight at what were it 168 or something. Well, haven't we learned anything from Crusher Ben again? No, haven't we learned anything from Kelbrook Golovkin?
Yep, that's exactly that. I think if Crusher Ben's lost his power, there's a good chance Manny Pacquiao could give him a systematic beating. I don't know.
Crusher
Even at
Ben.
that age, even at that age,
Ben. Crusher Ben to me, Andy, right? Can't knock an N over, can he now?
feather duster, man.
Manny Pacquiao, his punch resistance will have probably gone, but he'll still have the power. So it's just a case of what round he takes Ben out. But then again, we said Cash Ali would get wiped out in a round, didn't we? And what happened there?
I didn't think that would happen, like, but because he used to, like I said earlier, he was taking David Price's punches fairly well, and he was a big truck. He could dig, couldn't he? But when you think about Manny Pacquiao, he never really knocked anybody out in the later stages of his career, did he?
No, he didn't. You're right there, mate. He never seemed to ice anybody, did he? They all go into points, weren't they?
Was De La Hoya the last guy he stopped? I'm trying to think.
He stopped a few, Annie, but he wasn't knocking them out like he were he? You know, back in the day.
No.
There were a lot of them going to points, but at one point he was just icing everybody, wasn't he? Especially when he did Hatton.
Oh, that was a sickening knockout, that wasn't it?
Hey?
That was a sickening knockout, that wasn't it? That was.
Oh, terrible, wasn't it?
Oh, that was a chilling spectacle. That one, wasn't it?
Yeah. What do you think to the situation with Dennis McCann at the moment?
Dennis McCann, I'm sure I've seen his fight. I can't remember what the result was now. I was watching him fight
Last
that
night,
night.
didn't he? Won last
Aye,
night.
it was on last night. I like him, like he's a kind of throwback fighter, isn't he?
A decent fighter, isn't he? Let's have it right.
Yeah.
He's
It's a
got
bit like Nick Ball. I think Nick Ball's a throwback fighter. He was unlucky not to get that decision last week, wasn't
yeah.
he? I like fighters like that though. I do like all action, isn't it?
Yeah, that Dennis McCann, he's only 23, so he's got plenty of time on his hands, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Really. Do you think they might have matched him a little bit hard with that one he drew with?
Aye, maybe a wee bit optimistic there, thinking to see where he's at. But yeah. I think he boxed well last night, from what I remember. I don't think I've seen all his fight, but I've seen some. I was in and out of here doing stuff.
Would you like to see Lee McGregor against Dennis McCann?
Yeah, that'd be an interesting fight, yeah.
I'd like to see that. Lee McGregor.
Yeah.
I would honestly, I just think it's a good fight, me, that.
Hmm.
Lee McGregor's obviously fought for IBO, hasn't he? And he got beat against that Kabori, but sorry, against Ayala, sorry, but I'd like to see him. I'd like to see him fight Dennis McCann. I just rate Dennis McCann, mate. Honestly, I think he's all right. Don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's good, good prospect.
What do you think to that Lauren, that Welsh woman? You know, the Price, is it Lauren Price? What is
Lauren Price.
it?
She's fighting next week or the week after.
I forget now.
I don't remember if I've actually seen her fight, but I've seen her name somewhere for an upcoming fight. It's in Cardiff, I think, is it?
Yeah, I think she fights next week. I'm not sure. I know she's Olympic goal, isn't she?
Right. Do you
Uh,
think she's a good upcoming prospect? For...
yeah, I think she fights. I think no, she fights 11th of May.
Oh, it's
Jessica
11th of May.
McCaskill, 11th of May. In a
She...
seventh fight, and it's the world title.
Oh, it's a world title fight, right?
Yeah, WBA, world welterweight, and an IBO. So she's going to
Mm.
fight Jessie McCaskill. She'll beat her easily, Lauren.
Mm-hmm.
She'll beat her easily.
And we have another world champion in the UK.
Yeah, then we've got another world champion. It'll be on Sky, so it's all good stuff, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's at Cardiff as well. So they're going to be putting a show on down there in Cardiff. So it's all good stuff.
yeah.
But it is what it is. Carl Frampton. We haven't really mentioned him for a bit. Do you think he's going to get that Leewood fight?
Carl Frampton. Carl Frampton.
Yeah, the
He's
Leeds kid. Not Carl Frampton. Sorry, Josh. Josh Warrington. Sorry, Carl
Warington.
Frampton. He's an Irish kid, isn't he?
That's what you say. He's Carl Frampton's a pundit now, isn't
Yeah. Sorry. Josh Warrington. Carl Frampton. Sorry, I've got him on my mind today. Him, Carl Frampton. I don't know
he?
why.
Yeah, I think Josh. Yeah, Josh Warrington, Lee Wood. I'd watch that again. Yeah,
You would.
yeah.
Do you
Lee
ever
Wood
think
will hit
Frampton will come back, Andy?
Frampton. No, I don't think Frampton will come back. No, no.
No.
I think he knew he was on the slider at the end of his career. I think he did the wise thing and got out. Yeah, I think he's quite a good pundit actually. He's got his faculties intact. He's probably made enough money. I hope he has it.
Yeah. Well, Josh Warrington. He's not fought since he hasn't fought in nearly 6 months, Josh Warrington. He hasn't even got a fight lined up. Now I'm just wondering if, he's had one win in his last 5 fights. I'm just wondering if he's at end now because his last win were Martinez and he'd already beat him before and he's an old man, isn't he, really?
Yeah. Think he's
Um,
just going to slip away quietly.
Well, yeah, I think he probably will. But Kiko Martinez, since he lost to Warrington, he's had a win of a Jordan Gill and he's had a loss against the Rage Abbey. But he's kept his son busy, him, Kiko Martinez, hasn't he? But approaching 39-year-old now, he's knocking on a bit, isn't he?
Yeah. For a small fighter, that's quite old.
Mm. So we don't hear know about Kid Gallagher. He looks like he's finished, doesn't he? Not fought in since 2022.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't heard anything about him for a long time.
Yeah, I think that's it for him now.
His style wasn't that endearing to the fans, was it? It was a wee bit negative.
Yeah, it was hard to hit, wasn't he, really?
Yeah. Skillful, but skillful, but not exciting.
Yeah, not exciting. No, he wasn't like Naz, were he?
No.
But what do you think is going to happen with this verdict that they're supposed to be going to come out with next week for Crusher Ben? You think they're going to clear him?
I don't think we'll hear about it next week. It'll be the week, the week after, the week after that.
You think they'll just keep
Uh,
dragging it out, Andy?
that's what it looks like. Because how long now? How long is it going on now that we're supposed to be hearing about it? And supposed to be hearing about it. They keep kicking the can down the road, and it's a never-ending story, isn't it?
Mm, yeah.
But I think he should be banned now. But I think what they'll probably do is give him a 2-year retrospective ban, won't they? Which is wrong because he's been fighting, so they should ban him. If they want to be kind to him, ban him 2 years since his last fight.
Yeah, it's Froch is saying that he can't remember his win over Jermaine Taylor.
Froch can't remember his win over Jermaine Taylor.
He said he can't remember his win over Jermaine Taylor. He were that concussed.
All right, at the time, you mean? Yeah, it was that was a cracking win, though. Pulled out the bag.
Right fight, that one it, Froch Taylor.
Aye.
You don't get ones like that, do you, no more, do you?
Taylor was top of his game then. He'd beaten Hopkins twice, hadn't he?
What about Keith Thurman for Crusher Ben? What do you think to that for a fight? If it happens?
Is he getting on a bit now, Keith Thurman? I think.
Well,
See,
this is it, you see, everybody they're mentioning for Conor Benn now, they're all like old men, aren't they?
I mean, Pacquiao must be in his 40s, isn't he? Was he 43 or something? 44?
45, isn't he?
45 years. Aye. He's always kept himself in good shape, Pacquiao, hasn't he?
What do you think? Yeah, what do you think to Joseph Parker at the moment?
I like Parker now. He's done well, this past wee spell. He's beaten two big punchers, Or could be two of the biggest punchers in heavyweight division. And he's been active. There's an argument to make him number 3 at the moment, I think.
Is there what?
There's a good argument to make him number 3.
You reckon?
Just on his current form, yeah. I know he's been beat in the past, but I think he's redeemed himself a bit. I mean, I think if he fought Dillian White again, he'd wipe the floor with White. Him and Big Meech could be a 50-50 affair.
When him and Big Meech fought for the first time, Andy.
For me, the referee spoiled that fight as well. Anytime we got in close, the referee kept breaking them up. I remember being annoyed about that at the time when I was watching it, because he needed to get him close, wasn't he? But the referee wouldn't let him fight in close. So as long as you're a decent referee, and you might manage to turn the tables on that on his previous result.
Yeah.
I think he's doing well under Andy Lee. He's very disciplined, and he's nothing seems to phase him, does it? And he fights in quite a relaxed style. I mean, he got dropped by Big Zhang, but he regrouped himself all right. He kept ahead and regrouped himself.
Do you reckon Parker could win a world title again?
I would say so. I think Parker Usyk would be a good fight as well.
Hey?
I think Parker Usyk could be a good fight as well.
Parker Usyk, nobody mentions that, do they, Andy?
Yeah, I think that'd be a good fight.
Yeah, it'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Do you rate Parker then?
He's got decent all round skills. He's got decent hand speed. His footwork's not too bad. He's probably, you know what? He's got that much experience now. That's what's helping him now. He's fought a lot of different styles, hasn't he? So he's got that experience now that he's probably just coming. He's not that old, is he? He's only about 31. So this could be his time.
Oh, Parker.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I think the Stinkinator stinks no more, I think.
Hey?
The Stinkinator's smelling a bit fresher these days.
Listen, mate, do you know Parker, you know how he stays outside all the time of opponent's reach? Well, put another foot on top of that. He's just not engaging, is he?
But I was putting it on. He's putting it on Zhang near the end of the fight, like he was putting it on Wilder, wasn't he? A lot of guys wouldn't be keen to get engaged with these guys, big punchers. But a lot of folk thought Zhang was going to knock him out. But when you seen him drop him the thigh, for me, he did well. He's got good powers of recovery too.
Andy, what's the combined age of Wilder and Zhang together?
Must be about 80, is it?
Well, there you go. What's Parker's age? Did you say 31?
31.
So half her 80 is 40, isn't it? If he's got a decade in each one of them, of course he's want to go fight him, isn't
he? Yeah.
Once a fighter gets by 35 years of age and they go in ring, it's a coin toss if they're going to get old that night. You know that, don't you?
Get old overnight,
Yeah, well, that's what happened with Wilder and Zhang, innit? And Joe Joyce, he's next. Joe Joyce has got old. Did you see the state of Joe Joyce against Cash Ali?
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it looks, he's never looked quick anyway, has he? But he's probably carrying 2 stone too much as well. We'll find out when the fight. We'll find out when the fight next. Fight all three of them: Joe Joyce, Zhang, and Wilder. What they've got left, if they fight again. But there's talk of Wilder not fighting again, isn't there? In Saudi.
Talk of Wilder fight. God, Wilder's got a deal anyway with Saudi. He's got one more fight, so we're gonna have to put up with Wilder getting flogged one more time, aren't we? Really?
Yeah. He's always got that get out of jail card, but he didn't seem to show it against Parker at all, did he? It's like he was stoned in that fight, wasn't it? He was like, just he didn't even seem bothered he lost either, did he? At the end, that's a strange performance.
Who would you put out of today's heavyweights against George Foreman? Who would you put to beat George Foreman? The 1973 version, 74, so 50 years ago. Foreman against this crop now. Who would you say beats him?
None of them really. I don't. Usyk would maybe outsmart him. Usyk would be a similar size to him at that point.
Yeah.
He could out. I don't think he'd stop him, but he'd maybe outbox him.
But what?
But that's if he got through the first couple of rounds, because Foreman was ferocious, wasn't he, early on?
Oh, fucking unbelievable, wasn't
he? Usyk's probably the only guy you give a chance. Maybe Fury, but I don't see Fury beating him, I don't think. Not at that age, no. And Foreman was only...
Would you put the can man against Foreman?
We'd only lasted about a round, though.
What about Big Meech against Big George?
Big Meech would last a couple of rounds, I think. And he's a wrecking machine, Big George, back then, wasn't
he? Yeah. What about little Johnny Bosch against George Foreman?
That'd be a bloodbath.
Yeah, but little Johnny Bosch would be daring to win, wouldn't he? He'll dare.
He'd have a go, eh?
He'll dares, Cougs. He'll dares.
He'd have a go.
But... You know what I mean? It's what it is. He'll dares.
Stick him in with a can man now and see how he gets on, eh? He's got balls, Johnny Bosch, and he comes out and gets stuck in, doesn't he? He doesn't pussyfoot about. But he would come unstuck against Big George big time. So many folk would beat Big George at that point.
Big George were unbeatable at one point, wasn't he? Let's have it right. He was one of Big George.
Look what he done to Frazier, eh? Bounced him off the canvas about 6 times in 2 rounds, didn't he?
Bounced him. He's still having nightmares about it, isn't he, Frazier? Hey. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Bean there with his dictaphone. What do you think to Bean's role lately in boxing?
I know he's doing stuff with TalkSport, but I've not actually heard him. I've not actually heard any of his latest punditry, but is he still ready for liftoff?
Welcome to the Blue Ribbon Division. It's good to be back, Matt.
Who's he working with?
I don't know, really. I've heard he's a freelancer now, Bean. I feel sorry for Bean. He used to be a big shot caller, didn't he? Mob boss.
Aye.
Now he's just some like dosser, isn't he? Hanging around boxing and like a bad smell.
Used to be king of the hill. Now he's hanging outside the back door amongst the bins.
Now he's hanging about at exit doors outside arenas, saying to people like James Elder, "Can you get me in?" And James Elder's like, "I can't get in my send, mate. Pop, pop, bang."
Hanging about with his autograph book.
He must be killing Bean this. Bean, bless him, eh?
How the mighty fall, eh?
Beans, but you know what it is with me, you see, right? I don't believe a word of what's gone on. Do you know why? 28 years service at Sky, right? Sky have not come out and said, Adam Smith, thank you very much for all the service you've done. We're so sorry to hear that you've had cancer and you've been having cancer treatment. Good luck with your cancer treatment in future and what you have got planned. We have not heard anything. All we heard was he was in some clinic for gambling issues. And then after a couple of weeks of being in there for that, we heard he had cancer. So I don't believe it. And I know other people who don't believe it. 28 years at Sky from when it opened. And they couldn't even come out and read something about his service to Sky. And the man's got cancer while working at Sky. No. This is what I believe. I believe something went on and he had to part from there, right? He might have had gambling issues. That's his problem. What he does outside of work's up to him, innit? But if he had gambling issues, there's a conflict of interest with the position that he had at Sky. So I think that's why they outed him. They might have paid him to go. Whatever, who cares? He don't pay my bills. I don't see anybody from Sky coming out saying great service and all that and blah, blah, blah. And I don't see anybody coming to say, I went to see Adam Smith in hospital. He's had cancer treatment. Nobody's come out and said that, have they? You know what I mean? And anybody who mentions it, how can you mention that, Porky? Man's been fighting cancer. It's a bit like Tyson Fury. How can you mention mental health, Porky? Man's driving Ferraris at 200 miles an hour at brick walls. Can't mention it, can you? How can I mention something to somebody up there at that factory if they're going to ring in sick? Oh, my mum's dying. You can't set out, can you? So this is how I look at it. Get gone with your cancer stories. I don't believe it. Show me proof. Show me him in hospital next to bed with a bed. Can't show me it, can they, Andy?
You would hope nobody would lie about something like
I
that.
heard a little something yesterday, so I was right all along. And there's a couple of people who kept pulling me about it. And you know who you are. Well, you look mugs now, don't you? Well, I get the brunt of it, don't I? Because I go straight away for, nah, I'm not having it. I don't believe it. How dare I say anything like that in the sport of box? Well, you know why I'm like that, Andy. Because I've heard that much shit that you don't believe anything.
You wouldn't know what to believe, some of the
I
time.
don't believe no, my kids tell me now. I'm that badly done to have a 6 year up there at big runs. I don't believe out here in boxing. And I certainly don't believe that Adam Smith had cancer. I don't believe it. And all you people who keep telling me he did, and those who have been told by him that he had it, show me proof. Exactly. You can't, so shut up about it. Go on about cancer. You just show yourselves up. All he is going on about it. Show me proof and I'll believe it. Can't show me. That's how I am about it. About these lot in boxing industry. Liars, vagabonds, and charlatans will say anything to gain an edge. He's had to save face, him being. He's been outed from Sky. What did he say? Oh, I'm going to try other things. Pastures new. And then he's hanging around. He's ringing people up I know in industry, see if they can get him on for a pundit job. Do you see where I'm coming from? What happened to all the boxing family, all the friends that were all going to be there for being Adam Smith's had cancer? 28 years stalwart. Where's the boxing family? They ain't none because he didn't have cancer. Right, let's change subject. Who's top £5 per pound? Have we got any movement, Andy?
Nah, still, I would probably say Crawford, Usyk. I know you, what do you call him? Tank Davis. He's in about that mix. Better be is that 5? I think that's 5. Bivol's maybe a close 6, isn't he?
Well, I'm going to go for Crawford, Usyk, Better Be, I know you, Tank, Opitea.
Yeah, Opatia's in there.
Bam Bam Rodriguez, Bivol. You got to have them in, aren't you?
Yeah, they've got to be there or thereabouts,
Yeah, you got to have them boys in. Tank's got to be in there. There's no place for Fury, drug cheats. There's no place in mine for any drug cheats. The only person in my top list whose mouthy and gets on list is Tank. And that's only because he ices people and he hasn't failed the dope test, has he? No dopers in my power. There can't be any dopers and you can't have had a loss. Canelo's been beat, and he's a doper. How can he be a pound for pound?
Mm.
He beat a
And
few.
he's, like you say, about he's got his creating his own division at, what was it, 157 or something like that.
I thought, yeah, Canelo, is that what he's creating? Nah, 155 he created, didn't he?
155, aye. Yeah,
Years,
that's
but
all wrong.
won it, dragging middleweights down to 155.
Nah, that
Why
should
not?
never be.
Why not 154 and 1 ounce?
Yeah,
They couldn't do it, could they? Because they would have got
yeah.
proper hammered.
Yeah.
You know what I mean,
Just they're doing to people what Eddie Hills and Ben try to do to Shoebank.
yeah, that's what they tried to Kashuba, and they'll do it again, and they'll keep doing it. And these misfit shows and gimmick fights, they'll keep happening until we end up with one on slab. Touch wood, it'll happen, but it's going to keep happening. Yeah, it's going to. Yeah.
Somebody's going to get hurt. One of them. I've seen the referees being too brave and folk getting their heads battered all about the place.
Andy, you've just seen Ngannou nearly get his head took off his shoulders, haven't you?
Yeah.
What about why is nobody mentioning? Oh, what if that had gone the other way? Nobody's mentioned it, have they?
Yeah. I mean,
Joshua.
I don't think he should have been allowed to take that.
What we've got now, Andy, do you know with these two big promoters getting on, we've got nobody firing any bullets now, have we? Have you noticed? If that had been, if Bricktop and Eddie Hills wouldn't have been friends, right? That show other night where Joshua laid him out, Bricktop would have come out and said, "Look at that for a bad matchup. That could have died, that man." But now, because they're friends, it's like nobody's going to fire anything at him, is it? Have you noticed?
Noticed because somebody asked Bricktop about Conor Benn last week, and he was just away to start talking about him, and he goes, "Nah, I've said all I'm saying on that. No, I'm not saying anymore."
I've seen it. I saw that one on Seconds Out as well, where he were asked about Conor Benn. And he changed subject. Normally, he goes straight in. And this is what we've got now. Now they've joined forces, they're going to get away with more than ever.
As George Galway calls the Labour Party and the Tories, they're like two cheeks of the same arse.
Yeah, well, that's what they are, isn't it? The Tories and the Labour, they're getting away with it, aren't they? Because they're always going to be there or thereabouts. But because there's no, if Tories and the Labour piled up now, right? If they were pals, there'd be nothing to talk about in House of Commons. And this is it now at boxing. Nobody's going to pull them up. None of YouTubers are. None of them how to act. None of them know how to act, even around them. All you're going to get nobody mentioning anything unless it's me. Me. I'm the only one with any knackers. None of these others. They've got no knackers. They get them on the channels for phone-ins or this and that. Anti-kill my arsehole. Not me.
That's it. So they're now Matchroom and Queensberry are two cheeks of the same arse, you could say, in boxing.
You go, mate. You got that's all you're going to get now. I know what's going to happen. We're going to get stalemate. Anything that needs pulling up on is going to have to come out on Peter Fury's podcast when I make my debut on there. How's about that one? Pop, pop, bang.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. I've said, yeah, I'll do it, but whether it happens or not, I don't know. It's boxing, isn't it? Things change by the day, but yeah, I said I'm up for it, so why not? Okie dokie.
Good man.
That's about it, Andy. Thanks for coming on.
You're welcome, enjoyed it.
I'll be up in the morning. So I'm going to do me Big John Fury running morning. I always attempt it on a Monday, but I can never get near this time. The man's superhuman. 200 kilo deadlifts with his core. How can I compete with a man like that?
Superhuman, eh?
Superhuman. I'll speak to you tomorrow, pal.
Take care, Russ. All the best, mate.
All the best. Pop, pop, bang.
Bye.
Cheers, mate. Bye.